Let's look at how to put images into your website using only CSS. You can also use this to make elements disappear. So if we look at what I have an index page here, which is my HTML page, and it's this content, which is not going to change. And then I have two different style sheets to demonstrate with. The first is style sheet 1, which has this light blue background. The second is style sheet 2. And if I change my style sheet here and save it, you'll notice it changes to a tan color. So let's go back to style sheet 1 for a moment, save that. And the first way, I'm going to just go inside of the site title right below that and place an image. I'm going to go to the internet and find some different images to use. So here's a logo, and one thing to point out is as you're looking at the images, if you look below them, it'll tell you the size, and some are quite big. But when you find one you like, open it up, right click, and you can just copy the image address. But if the image is blocked somehow, then it's not going to work for you. So it's good practice to just open the image in a new tab. Make sure it actually works like this. And if it does work, then you're good to go. And you can just copy the address and then go ahead and paste that address here and just save it. If I go back and look at my site now, you'll notice it's already there. It's working. Now, if I go to my first style sheet, it works. My second style sheet, either one, they're the same. Nothing's different there. So it's going to appear on either one. So if I go to style sheet 2 and I save that, you'll see it's still there. So if I want to change that, I can come into my image and I can give it a class. And let's just call the class hide. And remember, you can name it anything you want. But I'll then go into my style sheet 2 and I'm going to talk to that class. So .hide, and we'll say display, and then we'll put none. And you'll notice as soon as I put that it's gone, it disappears. If I go back to style sheet 1, however, and I save it, you'll notice it's there. So it's not on 2, but it is on 1, and that's because in 2 we've told it to hide, whereas in 1 we have not told it to hide, even though in the HTML it has that same class. We've just told it what to do in one and not the other. Now the other way you can do this is by placing a div, and inside that, this time let's give it an ID. Let's call it photo. And we have absolutely no content in there. But if I go to my style sheet 1 and we go inside the div and talk to that ID, which is called photo, I can give it a background image, and it's going to be from a URL. I've already found an image to use. So if I come back here, you'll see here's my image. I can then take that, copy the address like we did before, and I can come over here and paste that in. Make sure to close that and save it. And if we go back over to the website and I save it, you'll notice nothing actually has happened. And that is because if we go here, it's an empty div. There's nothing in it. So if I place content and save it, you'll notice it actually starts to show up there, right? But we don't need that. We can take that content out. We can save it, and you see it disappears. But if we go back into the style sheet and not only tell it where the background image is, but give it a width, let's say 700 pixels, and a height of 500, you can see it shows up. It doesn't completely fit though, so another thing we could do is say background size, and then use the value of cover, and that'll make it fit whatever dimensions it has. So it's got most of it in there now, and that looks pretty good. So that's great, and it's going to also live, just on this style sheet, because even though we have this div, which will appear on both pages, that says ID of photo, that only lives in style sheet 1, not on 2. So if I go back to style sheet 2 and save it, you'll notice that it disappears and I have no images whatsoever on this page. So that's how you can make pictures appear using just CSS and also make elements disappear.